Niagara Falls, the border between two countries. Niagara Falls is found between the lakes Erie and Ontario. The so-called Horseshoe, as it is known by Canadians, is one of the most popular spots in North America. Honeymoon at Niagara. The waterfall is a preferred place to visit by the newlyweds. It brings both the US and Canada a lot of income from tourism. The region of the Great Lakes has the most voluminous water area in the world. In the beginning, the Native Americans lived here, but from 1806, the white population started to colonize the area. The territory around the waterfall has always been subject to argument. In 1812, the Americans started to colonize the opposite side of the waterfall, and as a result, a war started between them and Canada because of the economic value of the area. Canada, which was a British colony at the time, however, turned out to be a stronger opponent than thought. After a series of diplomatic discussions, the pre-war borders were re-established. During the 1950s, Canada and the US signed a treaty in regards to Niagara Falls. Both countries built gigantic dams which supply electricity to the whole region around the Great Lakes. The treaty limits the amount of water that can be redirected towards the hydroelectric station, which guarantees that Niagara remains a tourist attraction. Every year, more than 12 million people visit and are in awe of the breathtaking wonders of nature and the waters of the Great Canadian Horseshoe, the largest of the three waterfalls. On both sides of the shores of Niagara, there are numerous hotels and restaurants that are mainly used by the newlyweds, for whom the falls are a beloved destination. The main economic value of the area is energy generation, hydroelectric, and tourism. The climate. It's warm during the summer at an average of 25 degrees Celsius. However, during the winter, parts of the waterfall freezes over. Some interesting facts. The name Niagara is an anglicization of the Native American word Unguiara, meaning straight. The fearless that decide to go down the waterfall in a barrel are called Niagara Daredevils by the Americans. In 1953, the movie Niagara, directed by Henry Hathaway and starring Marilyn Monroe, was filmed here. The first white man to hear about this natural world wonder was the French explorer Jacques Cartier, but was first documented by Father Louis Hennepin between the lakes Ontario and Erie. The Niagara waterfall forms a natural border between the US and Canada. This miracle of nature is one of the most famous places on Earth that has been conquered by man. Niagara Falls is found on the river which has the same name. It formed during the last ice age. Scientists, however, are not sure if it formed 9,000 or 10,000 years ago. The river discharge is 11,000 meters cubed per second. On the river, between the border of the US and Canada, Goat Island is found, which separates the waterfall in two. The height of the American waterfall is shorter than the one on the Canadian side, called Horseshoe Falls. On the Canadian side, around 90% of the water discharge of the waterfall is located. Since there is constant erosion, the edge of the waterfall shifts to the west by 1.5 meters annually, and from the river, the body of water is considered to be 11 kilometers long and 100 kilometers deep. The clouds that form around the waterfall are beautiful. In 1885, the US designated the area as a national park. Despite these efforts, pollution in these parts cannot be stopped. On the Canadian side, there are large amounts of tourists, and on the American side, the water is polluted by industrial waste from chemical plants. Niagara Falls is not just a border between Canada and the US. Both countries have built cities around it, both of which are called Niagara Falls. One is found in the state of New York and the other is found in the province Ontario. The two cities are connected by a bridge called Rainbow Bridge. Map of Niagara Falls, the statistics. 49 meters on the American side, 51 meters on the Canadian side. The width of the American side is 300 meters, and the width of the Canadian one is 800 meters. and the average water flow is 2,400 meters cubed per second. In a nutshell, here are some of Niagara Falls' Daredevils. In 1829, Sam Patch. In 1901, Annie Edson Taylor. In 1911, Bobby Leach. In 1928, Jean Lucier. In 1930, George Statakis. In 1951, William Red Hill. And in 1952, Nathan Boya.